Okay. So, guys, just mute yourselves, please, so that I can talk through this with you. I don't know who's still on. Okay. On Tuesday, the 17th of March, you were required to perform a self-written monologue that focused on using realistic techniques. Okay. In this analysis, you are required to discuss how you use 10 steps to help you portray your character. You must discuss how you approach preparing for the role of your chosen character from A Doll's House. You need to provide specific and detailed responses to each of the 10 steps in order to fully explain how you gave a realistic portrayal of your chosen character. You may write each step down as a heading, then answer on said step in paragraph form. You may not use bullet point answers. You need to reflect on both the preparation of the role and how you utilize this during the live performance of your piece in order to answer this analysis fully. So, I don't think that's difficult because that's what you should have done anyway. So, for example, let's talk about given circumstances. If someone wants to unmute themselves so they can answer, what would the given circumstances be for Nora if you played Nora, or Torvald, or whichever character? Can someone answer me? Can someone give me an idea what the given circumstance would be for your monologue? Anyone? No one knows what the given circumstances are. Okay, so your given circumstances is how you came to this point, right? So say you were playing Nora and you were at outside your daughter's house and she's grown up now and you've gone to visit her. Your given circumstances are just that. You're playing Nora and you've gone to visit your child. What brought you to this point? So that's what you need to answer on.
So, man, basically what we need to do is mention like what actually brought us to where we are, like in our personal monologue, like the storyline as to, let's say, at the end of the play. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Given circumstances, yes. For action on stage, we talk about what action on stage means. So you look at the step and go, okay, the step says this. How did I use that? The magic if, obviously you ask yourself questions. What if I was Nora in this situation? And answer on that. Imagination, circles of attention. So basically, guys, it is also only out of 20 marks, right? And there's 10 steps here. So I feel like I'm not asked. I know it seems like you need to write a lot, but also it's only 20 marks and it's 10, so 10 times 2. So it's 1 point or 1 paragraph or 2 lines on the preparation and then 2 lines on how you use it in the performance. Does that make sense? Per step. Anyone? Give me like a wave or a thumbs up or something, a voice, anything, so I know that you're understanding what I'm saying.
I just came and I have no idea what's going on. So.
Hi, Taylor. We're talking through your new assessment.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen it, but instead of doing the cycle test next week, Tuesday, which you can't do, this is the assessment you have to do and hand it on Wednesday. Okay, it's on Google Classroom. It's on Google Classroom, so I was just talking through what you need to do for your, basically it's your homework. You have to do this. So you need to read through it. And if you don't understand, this video is being recorded so you can go and listen to what I said earlier. And if you still don't understand after that, please just send me an email or however you want to communicate with me and I will answer your questions.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna, as I know some of you think this is difficult, I really don't think it is. But if you're really struggling, obviously you can just email me and I will help you. But the due date is Wednesday next week. Okay, I am going to move on to the theory now. All right. Just gonna see, all right with you guys. So, realism, yay. Sorry, my computer. Hi, Tseho.
Hi, ma'am.
Just so you know, I know you've just joined now. I've been recording this entire time and it'll go on Google Classroom. So anything you have missed, you can just watch there.
Okay.
I was just going through your newest one and explaining what's needed of you, so that you do need to go listen to the earlier part of this video to know that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, it's just taking a while to open up. Then what else? Are you guys, I know not everyone is here, but is this working for you, or would you prefer I record on my own, or is it better having people give that maybe you didn't think of? Because as far as I'm concerned, I want to continue doing this every day until the syllabus is done, because we still have 14 days of teaching to do.
Ma'am, I find this so helpful.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
so helpful.
So
Like, I wish every class did this.
oh, oh yay. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to keep doing it. At this point in time, it will be 11 o'clock every day, unless I have issues like today. And if you can join, you join. If you can't, you can't. It'll be uploaded later. That's what we're going to do.
Cool.
Cool. So we were. How do I keep drawing on things? Okay. We would, on this slide, I believe, that's what we finished off yesterday. Am I right or wrong? Or were we talking about Darwin? Because I know I skipped to Darwin, but did we finish this slide before I skipped to Darwin? Because I think what I
No.
okay.
No, we didn't
I
finish
don't
that.
think so.
We're talking about how science could solve human problems, and that's why I started speaking about Darwin. So we're just going to go back quickly, and I'm going to slow down very quickly. Sorry. Okay. So this is the next point. Working classes still had to fight for every increase in rights. Okay, and this is important because, again, we're going back to the fact that the working class were not being heard by the politicians and by the upper class. So they were fighting and this for their rights. This said a lot about the people of the time and what they were experiencing and how they felt, and subsequently why realistic plays were written in the way they were to address these problems. Okay. So that's basically what you need to know about that the public were very much aware of their circumstances and trying to make the upper class aware of their circumstances. So because of this, because of the stark reality that people were facing at the time, they didn't want to really watch romanticism plays anymore. So that brings us to the third point on this slide. Okay, there was a rejection of romantic idealism because people were going, this isn't actually what life is. So we don't, even the upper class people were realizing this isn't what life is. We don't want to go and watch a play that is all about this fantastical world that does not exist. So people started to reject these ideas. Okay, so the people were rejecting the romantic idealism ideas, and common man seemed to feel that he needed to be recognized. So rejection of romanticism, common man needs to be recognized, therefore realism happened. That's as simple as I can make it. Okay, so they rejected romanticism, and then they started looking at people's issues, and subsequently playwrights started to write about these issues, and that's why, and I keep going back to this, but that's why they're called problem plays, or why they were originally called a problem play. Am I going too fast, or are you okay with what I've said so far?
We good, ma'am.
Hey. Okay, cool. Let me know when I can continue, or just give me like a, for those of you, I can not see, some of you don't have, a lot of you don't have your pictures up. That's okay. Just, I don't know. Is anyone still writing this all down?
No, ma'am.
I see you, Taylor.
Hmm?
Hi, Amy. Hi, Pelisa.
Hi, ma'am.
Everything is being recorded, so don't worry. If you've missed anything, it will be up on Google Classroom later.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just
Sorry,
waiting.
man, where can we get a Google code?
The Google code,
Yes, ma'am.
I did send it on the WhatsApp group. I will just forward it to you now privately, okay?
Okay, thanks, man.
No problem. Also, guys, just so you are aware, these lessons that are being filmed are going on Google Classroom, but they're also being put on the school's YouTube account, and I'm not sure who does and doesn't have access to that. So we need to, I guess, behave appropriately. Okay, Taylor, you good for me to carry on, love?
Ma'am, let me just take a photo.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Cool. So here, this slide is talking about all of these gentlemen, and it is gentlemen, not hello, that came up with all of these new ideas. As you can see, if you click on it, August Comte, it gives you a link to a website so you can find out more information about them. What you need to know is that for Comte, the most important thing is, if you literally just write August Comte, father of sociology, sorry, and positivism, you're good. All right, just for now, if you write that down, it'll be okay. So if you write Comte, father, or Comte, probably saying it wrong, father of sociology, developed a theory known as positivism, sorry, can't speak today. All right, then you'll be okay with that for now, and then you can go back later and just read the slide, and if you have issues, let me know. But basically what this meant was he was encouraging, ideas were like an encouragement of understanding and the cause of effect of nature. Okay, so looking at how nature affected things, because we have a lot of, you've heard the saying nature versus nurture, right? Okay. So if you have any issues with him, I don't normally focus so much on him. I normally focus more on Charles Darwin, because I feel that he relates, all his ideas relate a bit more to the Doll's House, for Doll's House. Okay, so Charles Darwin, again, what you need to know about him, here's some, again, it's a link, so you can go look.
Ma'am, you're going too fast, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, Yangama.
Oh, no problem.
Where would you like me to go back to?
No, like, ma'am, you're moving on to the section too quickly. Like, I'm still writing, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to not talk for a while to give you some time to write. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to go off this slide. I'm just going to talk to it. Okay. So you guys can write down stuff. All right. So with Charles Darwin, he published The Origin of the Species in 1859, and that created a worldwide stir, which still exists today. Okay. Darwin was, who knows? You guys can unmute yourself if you want to answer. What do you know about Darwin?
Isn't it the evolution thing? He believed that man evolved like from apes to humans, basically.
Good. Okay, so obviously this caused a lot of controversy. Why? Because who was supposed, who, according to the people at the time, created man?
God.
Okay. So here comes along Darwin. He's like, well, actually, scientifically speaking, that's not possible, right? And obviously a lot of people were up in arms about this. How could this possibly be? Surely not. And obviously still today there are some people, sorry if I'm not trying to go too fast, I'm just trying to talk to this, but there were some people today, or are people today, that also still wholeheartedly believe that Adam and Eve were the first people on earth, and that was through, despite scientific evidence according to Darwin suggesting otherwise. So obviously we as a group are very open and we all respect one another's opinion. But in the case of this theory and realism, I need to explain to you who Charles Darwin was and why he's important for us to understand. You obviously can still believe whatever you want to believe about evolution and religion. I am not preaching to you. I'm just giving you a background on who Charles Darwin is. Okay. So he then went on to look at these 3 points, which we did speak about yesterday, but I know you maybe didn't write them down. So it's very important to know these 3 points about Charles Darwin. Yongama, can I check in with you and see how you're doing? Because I don't want to go too fast for you.
Oh, wait, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. Can you just explain that part in the part of notes that says, Darwin's essential series suggested that life developed gradually from common what, ma'am? It's a bit blurry for me. I can't really read, ma'am. I think it's my Wi-Fi.
No problem. So here it says sorry, let me just point to it. Darwin's essential series suggested that life developed gradually from common ancestry and that life favored survival of the fittest. Basically, what that is talking about is your basic genealogy. All right. And if you as a human come from a genealogy or a bloodline that is weak, you will not survive. You and your family will not survive.
Understand.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. No.
You're very welcome. So I'm just going to talk about this again. People were controlled by hereditary and environment. They were controlled by how they were born, what world they were born into, as well as their bloodline. Okay? Then behaviors were beyond our control. Sorry, Mr. Goldsmith tried to walk in here. So behaviors were beyond our control. That was because who would be controlling our behaviors? Anyone want an idea?
Would it be society?
Good. Society and who else? Who do we start with in our box when we're born? Who's the first people we meet?
Parents.
Parents.
Right?
Was that right? Okay.
Well, we hope your parents first. Have I spoken to you guys about this idea of a box before and all the boxes we get put into?
I think so. No.
Do you want to explain? I don't know who that is. It Krista who said that?
No, it was Angel, but no, I don't want to explain.
Sorry, Angel. No problem. I'll explain. So the first box you get put into is when you're born. So the first thing that happens when you're born is you are a race of some description. So that's your first box. Then your next box is the gender you were born as. Then your next box is, are you born to your parents, or are you being adopted, or what's the situation? And subsequently that affects how you get brought up. So that's your next box. Do you live in a world where you are rich, poor, middle class? Do you receive a private school education? Do you receive a government school education? Were you born in England? Were you born in South Africa? Were you born in France? All of these things add up to who you are as a person. Are you religious? Are you not religious? Okay. And each time you can look at this box as like adding on another layer to who you are as a person. So your behavior to a certain degree is controlled by these boxes, right? If you have been taught that it doesn't matter who you're talking to. If they are older than you, you show them respect and you call them ma'am or sir. And if they ask you to get them a cup of tea, it's not even a question, you do it. That's your behavior. That's how you've been taught. But in another society, you might have been taught that, no, you must stand up for yourself. And if some random old person asks you to go make them a cup of tea, you're well within your rights to say no. So, and the fact that you guys come to Baloo and have chosen to take drama as a subject is another box, because I feel like that is a box that affects you, because I'm your teacher, so I will teach you a certain way that would be different from another drama teacher, and maybe I'm more open to discussions with you that some other teachers wouldn't be. So that again affects your behavior. Does that make sense? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, cool. So subsequently, you guys could behave in a manner because of me. I've said something to you and you've gone, oh my gosh, ma'am, she gets it. And now you behave in that way because of something I said to you. I don't know if that's the case, I'm just saying. Okay? Then humanity is a natural object rather than being above all else. Okay? So humanity is not above anything else. It is natural. We have a life cycle that we're going to live, and then we die. It is natural. We have a life cycle that was really weird. Like, what is happening? Okay, my voice got repeated to myself, but it's all good. May I move on from this slide, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So we've done, we've looked at Darwin. This is just a funny comic about him. I don't know if Kim's on the chat. Hi. If you want to say what? Running out of time, we removed the board. Yay! Love it. Okay. Do you want to say what you thought? Was it this picture that you answered about?
No, it was the next one.
Okay, the next one. This one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that in a second. Please remind me to ask if I don't. I'm sure I'll remember. Oh no, enlightenment. Head for the cloisters. Quick, my sunglasses. Good morning, sunshine. Darwin's early light. All right. Basically what it
Ma'am?
is.
Sorry, can I ask, what does it mean when it says humanity is a natural object?
This point here.
Yeah,
So it's your life cycle.
okay.
Okay. So your humanity is determined by how long you live for and what you live through. So it's like your life cycle. Being a human. Sorry, I know what's happening. It is natural. We have a life cycle. What is happening? Okay, so your humanity is not. You know what humanity is, right? So you are a human, but there's a difference between being a human and having humanity.
Okay, ma'am, okay.
Yeah? So it looks at humanity and its life cycle and how you as a person act and react to others depending on how you were brought up. And it is a natural object in the sense that it looks at your life cycle. So humanity should be considered as natural rather than being above everything else that we see in the world.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Yeah? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this little picture here, guys, it's just a comic. I don't know if you guys all get it, but it's kind of this idea that Darwin here is like the sun and he's coming up and now everyone's like finally realizing all of this stuff and he's all enlightened. But as you can see there, the religious people are going, no, because they're all religious. They've got like across there, and this guy's a monk clearly because he's bold and he's reading the Bible. So basically this whole picture here is basically this idea that Darwin basically came in told religious people, hey, you know what? You're wrong. Basically. And as you can imagine, that wasn't very well received. Okay, it's just supposed to be funny. I'm sorry if it's not funny. It's supposed to be funny. Then we've got Karl Marx. Again, you can follow this link. You guys should know who Karl Marx is. If you don't, okay, I will help you understand him. But the most important thing about Karl Marx is understanding that what Marxism is. Someone want to ask me a question?
Ma'am, I'm confused about something.
Okay, Fishy, go ahead.
Okay, never mind. Actually, no, I realized.
Okay,
I was being dumb.
you guys can private message me if you're concerned about saying stuff in front of everyone else. I promise you it's no problem. And also
Ma'am, what do you want us to know about Karl Marx?
that he was the father of Marxism.
What is that?
What is Marxism?
Marxism, oh gosh, I always struggle to explain it. It's basically that everyone should be considered equal. So whether you're upper class, lower class, whatever, you should all be given the same rights and being paid the same. It's communism.
Okay.
And if you don't know what communism is either, it's okay. Communism and Marxism are very much linked. So you can literally, Taylor, you can go click here and then it will take you to the link if you need more information. But it's important to, just the most important thing to remember is that Karl Marx felt like everyone should be treated equally.
Okay.
Okay. Then we've got Richard Wagner. Again, I would say not the most important to know about. For the most part, I speak about Darwin and Freud. Yeah. Okay. But basically, Wagner basically wanted people to believe in art. So art of the theater being like, how do I explain? Extremely important. Like he felt that people were not really understanding how important the work is that was created by artists and theater people. All right. So basically his trends, his contemporary trends, he was rejecting, moved towards realism. All right. So he wanted complete illusionism. All right. He wanted it over every aspect. He wanted to have control over every aspect. All right. So remember, I don't know if I've actually mentioned this to you. I feel like I have, but I'm just going to say it again. Remember that people were that there was no director introduced until there was realism. Okay. So there was no one that was officially called a director, no one that would go in there and say, learn your lines, go upstage left, then walk to downstage center, pick up the teacup, take a sip, put it back down. There was no one that did that until realism.
What is illusionism? Is that the word, ma'am?
Yes, illusionism.
What is that, ma'am?
Okay, so let's start with the basics. So what's an illusion?
Like, how do I explain this, ma'am? Like you hallucinating, like you think something's happening, but it's not actually happening, ma'am. I don't know.
Yes, you think something's happening, it's not actually happening. Do you know about illusion artists or illusionists?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so they're like related to like magicians in a way. So they make you believe that they have done something that we go is impossible to do, like sawing someone in half. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
How do they do that? That's an illusion. They don't actually saw someone in half, we hope.
Yes, ma'am.
We see the person go into the box and then they get cut in half and then they show us the two halves. That's an illusion. So what Richard Wagner wanted was that he wanted the entire aspect of the theater to feel like an illusion, like what you're watching couldn't possibly be real, but it is, if that makes sense.
I understand, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Guys, we're going to end after, oh, so sorry, I keep doing that. We're going to end after this slide because I feel like we've been talking for a while now. and then I'll see you again on Monday.
Ma'am, I quickly wanted to ask, back to Auguste Comte, what else must we know about him? Like, what should we know? I kind of didn't listen at that part.
Father of sociology.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He basically wanted people to understand that the cause and effect of nature through precise observation. So he felt that if you observed a society, you would understand them better.
Okay. Can I quickly write that down?
Yes.
Wait, ma'am, what did he feel if you watch a society?
If you observe in a society, you'll understand them better.
Okay.
Because you'll see the cause and the effect of society. So, good example, what's happening to us right now, COVID-19. The cause is COVID-19. The effect is I'm now having to teach you through this forum. And how is it affecting us as humanity? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? So like, how's it affected us? It's affected us in the sense that I can't see you guys anymore, physically, which means our practical lessons have gone bye-bye. And it also means that I miss you. And maybe you guys are missing school. Not just missing school and in the sense of missing it, but like missing your being around your people. But in the same aspect, you're still being educated. So school is doing everything in its power to educate you. Teachers are taking different responses. This is my response to it. I still feel I need to talk to you guys and explain things to you through this forum. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So we spoke about Richard Wagner. Now we're going to speak about Sigmund Freud. I feel like you all have an idea of who this man is. All right. But if you don't, he was the father of psychoanalysis. That's what you need to write down. Literally, psychoanalysis. Okay, so he was looking at the psyche of a human brain and analyzing it. Okay, so am I going too fast? Do you want me to go back? Okay, no response. I'm going to. Okay, so Professor Freud, lesson 1, the unconscious. Sorry, I know. Difficult to see. Ooh. Okay. So Professor Freud, lesson 1, the unconscious. Can I have a volunteer, please? Kimmy, you said you wanted to try it. Well, you did explain it on Google Classroom. Do you wanted to say what you said to everyone?
So basically, because he studies the human brain, the unconscious is kind of what the human brain goes through unconscious. So they're basically volunteering to be beat up to see what happens. That's why he's a baseball bat.
Good.
So it's,
because he's basically going to he's looking into their unconscious, figuring out what's going on.
yeah.
Cool, perfect. Did everyone get that?
Ma'am, can you please go back to the other slide quickly?
Sure. This one.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Kimmy, that was a really good explanation. Well done. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Katie, let me know when you're done, and we're just going to look at one more comic, and then we'll be done.
I'm done, ma'am.
Okay, anyone else still need this slide? Yep. Okay. The last comic is, or comic strip, if you, or whatever. So, My Family, Mom, Me, Dad, by Oedipus Rex, age 25. Who was Oedipus, guys?
Oh, the guy who married
from
his
Not
mother.
the guy who wrote Antigone. I mean, the blind guy in Antigone, I think.
Isn't he like part of the Greece thing that we did?
Yeah, isn't he part of Antigone?
He
I
married his
think
mother and killed
he's the
his father.
blind guy in Antigone.
Yes, Sayuri, say it. Everyone be quiet except for Sayuri.
Oh wow. He married his mother and killed his father.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
And he was whose father?
Antigone.
Antigone's dad.
Thebes. Oh, never mind. Oh, he's the king of Thebes. I mean,
He was Antigone, Ismene, Polynices, and Eteocles' dad. Okay, the reason why this is important is that Freud came up with this idea of the Oedipus Complex. Who knows what the Oedipus Complex is? No?
It's
Please
basically
explain.
Kimmy?
it's basically where he believed that all sons wanted to get with their mothers, and everyone had a kind of family situation that they thought of.
And not so nice way, I'm going to put it as delicately as I can. Basically that all, well, children, but mainly boys, all had these kind of sexual desires towards their mothers, and that they would date women that reminded them of their mothers, and in very severe cases would want to actually be with their own mothers. So that's the Oedipus complex, and it's called that because Oedipus did marry and sleep with his own mother. Okay.
ma'am, didn't the mother be like you?
Oedipus, or do you mean with
Like in general, with the whole thing, does the mom not be like, yo, I birthed you? This is no.
I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't think most boys would go up to their mum and say, hey mom, by the way. But who knows? I mean, if you've watched Motel, has anyone watched Bates Motel? They have a very interesting relationship with her son and her. And it's also, it's reversed as well. There obviously is, in some cases, it's the other way around, where it's the parent that wants to have the relationship with the child in that way. And it's not limited to boys, it's girls as well. They always, have you guys heard that saying? They always say that women end up dating their fathers. I don't know if you have heard that. All I will say is, when and if you do get into a relationship with someone, just check. Just, you'll see. It's quite interesting. Bonway is killing himself. I don't know if he's laughing at me or not. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there today, guys. I think we've been talking for a long time now. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to say bye to you guys. I will see you on Monday, 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, I don't understand. When we're in class, lessons feel so long, but this literally feels like it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like this online school thing. It's not for me, man.
Like, let me know if you guys can't do 11 o'clock on Monday, but I think it's a good time. Also, I will